Hi, I'm Ted Simons of Arizona PBS. Voting is the foundation of democracy. We vote because we, the people, want someone elected to represent our needs and values. Voting is a civil right, an American right. We all hear that voting is important because it is key to a healthy democracy. So why does it seem that voters in the U.S. have basically two choices when it comes to candidates, issues, and policies? The U.S. Constitution established a federal democratic republic, which now consists of 50 sovereign states. It's called a representative democracy because people govern themselves and elect representation by voting. Technically, America is a multi-party system. It's just that America has pretty much always had two major parties. To understand why, we must first look at how the country's elections work. The U.S. system of representation is based on who wins the most votes in each district, not necessarily a majority of votes cast. In addition, each distinct area, whether congressional district, state, or, in the case of the presidency, the nation as a whole, is represented by a single member, rather than proportional representation based on the number of votes received. That winner-take-all approach has resulted in the dominance of two main parties. There is deep history in our country concerning the two-party system, and it wasn't always just the Republican and Democratic parties. In fact, the framers of the Constitution did not want political parties to emerge because they considered them divisive. Political parties are not mentioned in the U.S. Constitution, a document that predates any party formation. The first two-party system happened during the time of the Founding Fathers, Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson. They disagreed over the powers of the federal government, which set the stage for two political parties. This divided, heated discussion about which political party would be best at leadership was the very thing Hamilton and Jefferson were afraid would happen, just as they had seen in European governments. In the 1830s, there was the conservative Whig Party, which faced off against the newly created Democratic Party. In 1855, U.S. Senator William Seward, a leader within the Whig Party, decided to join the Republican Party, which had been founded the year before. A 19th century influencer, Seward's decision to split from the Whig Party led to that party's eventual dissolution. And Republicans and Democrats have stood as the country's prevailing parties ever since. To date, no third party has ever won the presidency, and of the 535 members of Congress, only a handful identify as something other than Republican or Democrat. So, what do the two parties believe in? Throughout recent history, Democrats have opposed government involvement in the private, non-economic affairs of citizens, while also advocating that it's the government's responsibility to support programs aimed at social and economic equality, favoring greater government intervention in the economy. Republicans, on the other hand, have a strong belief in free market capitalism and have traditionally maintained that social supports are better left to private sector partners, thus reducing some of the tax burden for citizens. It's important to note that the current party system is constantly morphing. Voters have an opportunity to express their support or disagreements concerning government, both at the polls and through other civic action. I'm Ted Simons of Arizona PBS. Thanks for watching this episode of our series Voter Ed. See you next time.